4 years ago, on cusp a critical election year that would decide whether Donald Trump would win another term in the White House. I asked my German friend Constanze Stelzenmüller of Brookings Institution to find one those long Germanic words for the constant, gnawing state of anxiety that Trump's destructive tenure has inspired. He came back with a mouthful of 33 letters that pretty much summed it all up. Trumpregierungsschlamasselschmerz. He helpfully suggested that it would be nice to shorten this to Trumpschmerz. It means something like Trump worry but on steroids. At the time, I described it as the persistent pain or ache of the soul, resulting from overthinking Trump's slow-motion car crash. Here we go again. As we enter 2024, America faces another bad case of Trumpschmerz. At the beginning of this year, it was still possible to look at the facts and avoid falling into this dark place. There were reasonable expectations that he could somehow prevent the impending rematch between Trump and Joe Biden, who replaced Trump but was never accepted as America's legitimate leader by the former president and his millions of followers. Perhaps Trump will finally face the consequences of his unprecedented efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Perhaps a strong Republican opponent could emerge against him. Perhaps Biden, who has spent the first year of his term less popular than any other president modern polling history except Trump and is already the oldest leader in U.S. history, could step aside favor of a younger Democrat instead. Ask for a second term. The most extraordinary development in American politics this year was undoubtedly Trump's indictment for a total of 91 crimes in 4 separate criminal cases. He's not only the first former president to be charged with a crime. He ends 2023 by accusing the federal government of essentially staging a coup against that government. But even so, the accusations against Trump have served to further confuse our confused policies, not clarify them. Will the trials overshadow the 2024 race or shape its outcome? What happens if he is convicted and wins anyway? All we can say for sure so far is that the indictments have been a political boon for the Republican Party. With just weeks until the 2024 primaries begin, Trump now has an insurmountable lead in the Republican Party race, a gap that grows with each new case filed against him. It was around 46% among Republicans in the 538 average of national polls when 2023 began. Today it takes more than 61%. A year ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis looked like real possibility to unseat Trump, who had won 19-point reelection victory in formerly competitive state and boasted war chest of more than $100 million. But he did just as well against Trump as Jeb Bush, another Florida governor with hundreds of millions of dollars to spend. So his candidacy was a complete fiasco. Trump has